Hi, welcome back, and I'd like to offer some thoughts today about the organ of the human eye and some of the nuances, ways that it's used in the New Testament. So here's our word. Ophthalmos, the eye, and certainly the word ophthalmology comes from this word. Now, obviously, the word eye can be used in the literal sense of the human eye as an organ of sight or sensation. In the prologue to 1 John, we read this, that which we have seen with our eyes. And here's the Greek here. Heorakamen tois ophthalmois, that which we have seen with our eyes. And here John is speaking about an eyewitness recollection. We have heard, we have beheld. In the ascension narrative, a cloud received him from their eyes, meaning they could no longer see him. As a preface to the Lucan Beatitudes, he himself, lifting up his eyes to his disciples, was saying, what does this mean? He looked directly at his disciples. Now, various idioms are used that are associated with the eye. For example, you may remember the expression, an eye for an eye. You have heard it said, an eye for an eye. Here's the Greek, ophthalmon anti ophthalmou, an eye for an eye. In Latin, this is called the lex talionis. And I want to make a comment here. This is certainly not a command that we are to take an eye for an eye. But originally it was a statement about the limit of revenge. It can't go beyond the original offense. Now, in the parable of the log and the speck, with the thrust of non-judgment of another person, Jesus says, hypocrite, first get rid of the log out of your own eye, and then you will be able to see clearly. So deal with yourself before you try dealing with another. And guess what? The problems may be more on your side than the side of another person. Some other idioms. We shall all be changed in an instant, in the blink of an eye, in the last trumpet blast. Now, we have here an atomo. We have our word atom that derives from this word. Really the smallest, very smallest unit. And then we have en ripe ophthalmou, in the blink of an eye. Well, the blink of an eye is so very quick. And the whole idea here of it's indivisible because of its smallness. You can hardly notice it. Now, in other parables, we read this, the light of the body is the eye. And let's pronounce this. Haluchnas to somatas estin ha ophthalmos. Jesus here speaks about the eye that can become clear. Here's the Greek word haplus. And then Jesus says if the eye is clear, the whole body becomes light. Conversely, if the eye is evil, paneras, the whole body becomes dark. And just as an aside, when you go into a doctor's office for your annual checkup, the doctor so often takes out that instrument and looks directly at your eye. Why? Because the eye becomes a barometer, a gauge really, of the health of the body. So if the eye is clear, the whole body's full of light. If the eye is dark, the whole body becomes dark. Now, in another parable, and that is the parable of the workers in the vineyard, the eye is used to express envy. And so we read the words here, is your eye evil or envious because I am generous? Let's pronounce the Greek here. Ha ophthalma su paniras estin hati ego agathos eimi. Now, I like Luther's translation here. Does your eye see cross-eyed because I'm generous? And here are the workers of the vineyard who are angered because they've worked for 12 hours and got their agreed upon wage of 1 denarius, while the workers who worked only 1 hour have the same wage. And their expectations have been heightened. They thought they're going to get more. And so they really throw down their denarius with disgust. They thought they were getting more. The eye can also be used in the sense of enticement to sin. So this is used in 1 John 2:16. The eager desire ton ophthalmon. And specifically with eyes full of adultery here. Peter's speaking about this. The eye can be used more figuratively in the sense of mental and spiritual perception. Jesus speaking to the disciples after the feeding of the 5,000, having eyes you do not see and having ears you don't hear. Let's pronounce the Greek there. Ophthalmos echantes ou blepete kai ota echantes ou akueta. Having eyes you do not see, kai ota, ears, having you do not hear. Now, there are many New Testament references to Isaiah 6, 9, and 10, with the eyes and the ears and the heart speaking about a total dullness of perception. I mean, eyes and ears and hearts or organs of perception, but so often these organs don't work. Now, it's used in Paul's prayer where he says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. Finally, the apocalypse promises untold joy through an antithesis. And God will wipe away every tear from your eyes. Revelation 7:17. Kai exalepse hatheas pan dakruan ekton ophthalmon humon. And also in Revelation 21:4, he will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying in pain, for the old order of things, meaning the order of death and mourning and crying, they passed away. So in the New Jerusalem, unimaginable joy will reign supreme. Thanks.